Today is the second last day. I hope everybody's still very, very enthusiastic. Before we say goodbye to our charming pavilion, as tomorrow is the last day. So please have a seat. And if you don't mind, I encourage everybody to please fill in the front seat before the last, and we'll leave the back seat to all the audience who's going to join us later on. So today we'll be talking about the renewable energy spotlight shaping a sustainable future. So global climate challenges reshape the way we produce and consume energy. Renewable energy, with its promise of cleaner and more sustainable power sources, stands at the forefront towards a greener and more resilient future. Renewable energy technologies have then emerged as a beacon of hope in addressing these climate challenges. So this special topic, we will figure out the pivotal role that renewable energy plays in shaping a sustainable future, and what are the advancements, opportunities, and challenges within the renewable energy sector. So to commence our discussion, let's invite all the speakers on stage. Being the first one, he is the Senior Policy Analyst from the Directorate General of New Renewable Energy and Energy Conservation, the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources, Republic of Indonesia, Bapak Nur Cahyanto. Please come forward and have a seat according to the order on the big screen. And second speaker, she is the head of Corporate Environmental and Sustainability Development of Sampurna Kayu, Ibu Carolina Rosa Wijaya. I shall call you Mbak Caroline, yeah, since she's very young. Okay, the next one is the Deputy Chief Asset Management Officer from Star Energy Geothermal, Bapak Boyke Bratakusuma. Silakan Pak Boyke. Lastly, we have a Senior Manager Business Development Renewable Green Hydrogen of ACWA Power, Ms. Iman Benhayun. And to lead the session, please welcome Pak Nur Adi Wardoyo. He's the Secretary Inspectorate General of Ministry of Environment and Forestry, Republic of Indonesia. May I have a huge applause for all the speakers with impressive title and position? Over to you, Pak.
Yes, thank you. Good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. It's Sunday morning in Dubai, noon at Jakarta, and we would like to greet our speakers today, this morning, and also our audience here at the Pavilion Indonesia, and also at YouTube. Hi. Okay. Now, we will be talking about renewable energy. We have government, we have business. Business of Indonesia, business from Saudi.
Saudi Arabia, but we also work in Indonesia.
Yeah, work in Indonesia as well. Thank you, welcome. And so we will be talking about policy, about business and business progress, and we will hear about geothermal. We will hear about biomass. We will hear about hydrogen energy and many more. Yeah? And so we will see some progress, challenges, opportunities, and way forward. So let's start the session. Pak Cahyo, you will be the first speaker, please. 10 minutes, enough. The time is yours. Please, thank you. Yes, please.
This. Honorable Pak Dirjen, Pak Agus Julianto, and Bapak Nur Adi Wardoyo, and Ms. Caroline Rosa Wijaya, Pak Boyke Bratakusuma, Ms. Aiman Benayun. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, and please be one of us. And first and foremost, please allow me to extend the highest gratitude for inviting me in excellent event and appreciation to all the participants coming here. And today, I would like to share regarding the renewable energy policies and also energy conservations in our Directorate General Renewable Energy and Energy Conservations Directorate General and Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources. I have a couple of slides, and maybe for the moderator, if there's time is up, and you can give please sign. But you know that the climate change, of the impact of the climate change actually is inevitable. As archipelago nations, Indonesia has faced a serious challenge related to increasing impact of the temperatures between 1981 up to 2018. Its temperature increase, is around the 1.03 degrees Celsius per year. It's data from, you can see here. And this condition poses significant problems, especially from the resident in the coastal areas, that they have an impact of the sea level rises ranging 0.8 up to the 1.2. So we have to consider about this in terms of the climate change. Besides of Indonesia, also we have other countries such as Malaysia, Myanmar, Thailand, India, and also others that reaching also the temperature increase with a similar level with Indonesia. And this condition has caused serious impact of our daily lives, including the water scarcity and also health quality, food shortages, and damage to ecosystem and the land and the sea. And this is what we would like to tackle for in terms of the energy sectors. We know that last years we have increased our ambitions to reduce the emission and greenhouse gas emission with the enhanced NDC around the 358 million tons CO2 by 2030. This is coming from much strategies, including the renewable energy, energy efficiency, and also the power technology implementations, the clean power technology implementation, and low carbon fuel utilizations. If we talk about the energy efficiency, we can go to the programs such as the energy management, and also from the renewable energy side, we have the green RUPTL from the PLN. So we have to achieve around 20.9 million tons CO2, the 20.9 gigawatt by 2030. So we have to consider about this in the next years. And regarding the achievement, by last year's, actually by this year's as well, actually we surpassed the targets, because we have a target for the 2023 from the 116 million tons CO2, but we can surpass from the greenhouse gas emission reduction around 128. But we still have homework, how to achieve 358 by 2030. That's our challenge right now. And we can see there's many opportunities and strategies to achieve that. Regarding our target as well, so we are not talking about the 2030, but we can also projection in our 2060 by projects of our net zero emission targets. That's why by 2060 we have targeted emission is coming only from the demand sectors. It's coming from the transportations and also from the industrial sectors. It's the amount of the emissions is around 128 million ton CO2 by 2060. Now, this is quite challenging, because this is a target is 93% of emission reduction from the business as usual. So you can see in the graph There are many strategies to achieve that, including the electrification, boosting renewable energy, penetrations, and also implementation of CCS and CCUS technology, and also the application of the energy efficiency by doing the minimum energy performance standard and also energy management as well as a part of to achieve the strategy. We have also are considering we are Indonesia consists of the thousands of islands and archipelago countries, so we need the transmission line and also we need the super grid to connect the demand of the electricity that we still in the center of the Java and also the Sumatra and Java Bali connect to the renewable energy resources that mostly coming from the other islands. So the strategy by develop of the super grids of transmission line is essential to achieve our net zero. And you know that regarding the potentials of renewable energy, we have a lot of potential here. Almost 3,700 gigawatt we have. This include the solar, hydro, the bioenergy, wind, geothermal energy, and also the ocean energy. And right now, we still only 12.7 gigawatt that have been implemented. So there are still much more potential that needs to be implemented in Indonesia. Currently, regarding the target, government have a target for 2025. We have targeted to 23% of share of energy mix, but currently we still have around 12%. So this is our challenge, how to get the energy mix in the next years. So regarding that and correlating with our investment, we know that if we observe the investment cost of the renewable energy such as the solar PV and also wind turbine, they are more affordable and the competitive prices if we compare to the existing 100 of megawatt coal-fired power plants. So in the coming years of the competitiveness of the electricity coming from the renewable energy, it will be decline, and also we can compete with the fossil fuel like coal-fired power plant. And we know the utilization of biomass and also biofuel is a part of our strategies, because Indonesia continues to its effort in energy transition by utilizing of the power plants like the coal-firing of power plant with the biomass, and also in the transport sectors we have the mandatory of the biofuels implementations. And currently we have the B35, and that will be next step into we try to go to the B40 that indeed our targets in the coming years. So this is two of the potential of in Indonesia, how to use the biomass and biofuel from the renewable energy as parts of the net zero and also to achieve the NDC targets. And theoretically, we have a lot of but the potential of this, like biomass fuel, including the coconut shells, wood chips, palm kernel shells, rice husks, and multiple waste. That's maybe we can discuss later how the potential of to implement this. Regarding the regulations, you know that we have already issued government regulation, presidential decree number 112 that they help to boost the renewable energy development of renewable energy, and also this regulation is how to create the price itself of the competitiveness of the installment of the power plant coming from the renewable energy. And this regulation also mandates the government designed to accelerate the early retirements of the coal-fired power plants. Since right now we still, as the mandate of the Article 3 of this presidential regulation, we still try to prepares the roadmap of the acceleration of CFPP right now. And regarding the renewable energy investment and incentive facilities, we have some fiscal incentive and also non-fiscal incentive. You can see this in these slides. And we have also how to provide the online single submissions and online licensing that can provide that every investor city in Indonesia that can join with the investment of and also in the government incentive here. The last but not least, I think we also have to consider about the energy conservations or energy efficiency parts, because we can't talk about the supply side only for the renewable energy, but we have to also consider about the implementation of policies on energy efficiency. And the last year, we have revised, or we have the new renewable regulation that for energy conservation, that we actually we try to expand of the threshold of the energy management. In the last presidency, in the last government regulation, we only regulate the 6,000 of the energy consumption coming from the companies more. But right now we expand it for the industrial sector and also the transportation sector and also the building commercial sector to implement energy management. That is very important to for this government regulation to promote the energy efficiency activities in terms of to achieve the NZE and also the net zero by 2060. And the last, maybe my last slides, we have also the challenges, you know, the technology, supply chains, infrastructures, funding, incentive, and as well as the just energy transition are amongst the challenges towards the energy transitions. And technological advancement of the non-renewable energy efficiency and low carbon technology are also still necessary for a successful transition of the net zero emissions. We know that by doing the infrastructures, we have an opportunity to be developed by expanding and improving the current energy infrastructures, by to accommodate the large scales of the renewable energy and while maintaining the energy security and safety. And there's also the advancement of technology itself to develop must be accompanied by the increasing of the renewable energy value chain, comprehensively ranging maybe from the mineral extractions to the downstream component of the manufacturing. That's to support of the renewable energy industries in Indonesia. Maybe that's all our presentations, maybe 10 minutes or more, I don't know. Yeah, okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Give applause to Pak Cahyo. So, the government calls. Now, the business response. Ibu Caroline, please. Sustainable forest management and biomass energy. Please, 10 minutes for you. Thank you.
How to turning back? Okay. Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hope everyone's here is in a good health and enjoying the COP event. I'm very honored here to having this opportunity as the representative on behalf of Sampurna Kayu. As you can see on the screen, we are here to talk about our milestone in dealing with the global climate issues that we started with the baby steps from the sustainable forest management strategies to escalating business model to renewable energy. Okay, we are part of the Sampurna Kayu group. As the introduction of our group has four business sectors, namely agro in agriculture, Sampurna Bank in banking and financing sector, and Sampurna Strategic in property. And we are here, Sampurna Kayu, as a timber manufacturer. Established in 1978 as Indonesia's market leader, Sampurna Kayu have more than 15 manufacturing facilities to ensure our engineered wood production meet the standard needs of our customers worldwide. The group contributed a total production capacity of more than 850,000 cubics annually, allowing us to be a major wood engineered manufacturer in Indonesia and one of the largest globally. We are currently distributed our products around the world, more than 36 countries around the world, including the Asia-Pacific region, Europe, the Middle East, Southeast Asia, Australia, and United States. With nearly 45 years of experience in the wood products industry, our products such as plywood, wood decking, wood doors, flooring, pianos, truck body parts can be found in residentials, houses, commercial buildings, and industries. Currently, we export, we have more than 400 global customers around the world, and we are currently listed in a Singapore Exchange Main Board, or SGX. Starting from Indonesia's commitment to contributing to global climate issues and maintaining global temperatures in clearly feasible through NDC document with GHG emission reduction target of 29% increase to 31% increase, while also target with international support rise from 41% to 43%. We also see our home country effort is reflected in Indonesia's Volu Natsing 2030 national agenda, where emission from the forestry and land sector, or we call it Volu, will reach a net sink by 2030. In line with the world mission, our home country's commitment, government's objective, and alongside with the businesses and societies, Sampurna Kayu as a private company also want to directly involve and contribute in the national agenda. As a timber manufacturer, we hope to be able to work together mutually through enhanced implementations of climate mitigation actions, look after, maintain, preserve, and restore ecosystems while ensuring the social, economic, and environmental benefits of these actions. The effort to achieve the Indonesia's Volu Natsing 2030 need to be followed by selective and controlled land allocations for development in order to improve fair and equitable welfare across Indonesia. And in these situations, we as a private sectors, Sampurna Kayu main foundations are sustainable forest management, environmental governance, and carbon governance. So to begin, these are our plywood supply chain that involves a complex network of activities, starting from the sourcing of raw materials and ending with the delivery of finished products to consumer. The value chain represents our current supply chain in our 6 main factories. From the upstream right here, we source our logs from community forests, and just about this year, we start running our plantation. We are maintaining our forest management that involves planting, providing nursery, agroforestry, non-timber forest product, and compliance to mandatory local regulations, and also voluntary best practices, such as FSC certification, PEFC, high carbon stock, and chain of custody. They are crucial to ensure the long-term viability of our industries and minimize environmental impact. Then all the logs that meet our requirements go into the log pond that uses recycled water from the wastewater treatment plant that we have in our factories here. In the midstream process, the logs or woods are processed to produce plywood products, and the process of plywood production has a yield of 50%. Therefore, the other 50% will be a wood waste. Most of wood waste will be used for wood pellets, and the waste that ineligible into the pellet product will be utilized as a fuel for our boiler to produce steam that is needed in our plywood productions, right here. In addition, we try to develop and widen our sustainable business strategy by generating and using renewable energy from the solar panel in some of our factories as our baby steps to help reducing emissions. And our products are more or less known in 36 countries with more than 40 global customers worldwide. And our wood pellet products are used by end user as fuel for power plants to replace coal, right there. So As a processed wood manufacturer, we are aware that the principle of sustainability must be rooted in our business principle in order to be successful in today's global market and be ready to overcome the challenges in the future. From the global missions and the national agenda has been discussed previously in the slides, we respond to the current global climate situations by prioritizing a sustainable business strategy as our business framework. We have officially unified this concept as a pillar in our corporate strategy, which also align with the United Nations agenda manifested in a Sustainable Development Goals. We work to optimize our impact, reevaluate our priorities, and ensure that we have more core business strategy from a sustainability perspective. We focus on 4 pillars, in a people, sustainable forestry, productions, and conservation. As mentioned earlier, in a value chain, all our products are sourced from community forest and plantation. First, from the raw material. The raw material itself started from community forest. We have access to more than 600 eligible local farmers, and now also with industrial plantations that provide high-quality woods. And by using the high-quality wood sources, lead us into high-quality product as well. And that's where we are very dependent on a healthy forest and sustainable plantation. So by implementing our framework to create long-term sustainable forest management principle and the chain of responsibility, we came up with a couple of programs, the nursery and the replanting program. Sorry, can we go back to the... Boleh nggak sesuai ini ada? Sorry for the technical issues. Okay, the nursery is one of our programs to developing and maintaining the SFM, the Sustainable Forest Management. The program aims to create a temporary place so that the plant seeds can adapt to actual conditions, producing the best quality of seeds. We have contributed approximately 400,000 Falcataria seedlings in Pandeglang Public Nursery, 30,000 in Jambi Private Nursery, and 450,000 of Kadamba seedlings in Taliabu Nursery in North Maluku. This program aimed to develop a cultivations of the sangon trees, starting from the planting, maintaining, harvesting, and marketing. That's the public nursery. The farmers just need to prepare the land, and we provide the seeds, the forest management assistance, and in the end, we fully utilize the yields. We try to make use of vacant land and maintain sustainability forest growth, which as well is expected and increase the economic potential of the community forest. And then we have the replanting program. The company began with a small action through the implementations of more than 71 million seeds distributions to more than 7,000 local farmers. We know that replanting plays an important role in our sustainability log sourcing process, as well it encourage the community farmers to plan and to preserve the high conservation value areas, but also put a synergy with the Indonesian government's program. Our distributions approach is carried out evenly in the line with the annual distributions to the community forests, the wood suppliers, and local communities. This is our sustainability journey in community forests. Currently, we have 2 areas that we have been maintaining, one in Jambi and one in Jombang. As we know that our products are sourced from community forests and plantations, that we committed to engage, assisting, and maintaining smallholders farmers in their forests responsibly. We are compliant to national timber legality verification system standards, and then we expanded our commitment to international best practices and first initiated the Forest Stewardship Council certification program for the small-scale farmers. These programs provide best management practices, including replanting activities, seeds distributions, protections of biodiversity, and currently we're managing more than 1,300 certified farmers with a total hectares of around 1,800 hectares, or equal to 60 farmers groups. We will continue to expand our sustainability mission on both national and international scales. So this is our chain of custody. Through a framework and creating long-term sustainable business principle, we built a chain of responsibility by implementing chain of custody. We have several branches of factories that has been timber VLK certified, and then we expand to the FSC chain of custody. We get Samco Timber Limited, we get our Singapore branch, Samco Timber certified, and then the Jambi branch, Semarang branch, and Jombang branch, and lastly, we have the Mangole Timber Producer in North Maluku that has been a PEFC chain of custody certified. This is our forest revitalizations program. Currently, we work on more than 29,000 hectares of the forest management certifications. We do the high conservation value, the social impact, and the carbon stock, and we just got PEFC certified in one of the forest management. And from the upstream side, we go to the downstream robust framework. We start and expanding our business into wood pellet and solar panel, from the sustainable forest management to the renewable energy. We use a solar panel because obviously the sun continues to shine, that creates no harmful greenhouse gas emissions, and for us it is a win-win strategy. As two general scheme of the solar installations, there are normal EPC and the build, operate, transfer, and we go for the second one that required zero capital with discount rate from normal tariff. So this will be a value added for us. It is a zero cost and high impact, also provide a cash flow efficiency for us. We are pioneered the largest installations of solar panels among Indonesian timber manufacturer. Currently, we manage solar panel plant with a capacity of 1.74 megawatt peak at the two factories in Jombang Regency, and produce 4.3 million kilowatt hour of energy, equivalent to avoided CO2 2,630 tons so far. We can see here in the slides the breakdown number of each factories for its benefits contributions to the environmental impact. And we're expanding our sustainable strategy to eastern island of Indonesia, North Maluku. We implement solar panel in Mangole Island with potential output of 16 million kilowatt hour per year, and will be running in April 2024. We installed in 5 areas with a PV modules of 16,000 in total, with PV capacity 10.1 megawatt peak. This is probably my last slides. We are expanding our emission reductions to the wood pellet productions. Sampurna Kayu preparing to expand wood pellet productions in Java and Sumatra with total region capacity of 500 tons per year, including Maluku factory. In the end of 2025, we start from the Mangole and then the Central and East Java, and lastly in the Palembang and Sumatra. To that expand business in the North Maluku, we try to develop the area with a manpower size of projected 3,450 people, and we hope this could be increase our employment opportunities. We are mainly covering the forestry and manufacture, and most of the employment would come from the eastern Indonesia, and we upgrade for about 12% of employment rate in the North Maluku. Lastly, this is what we work among the communities. We work collaboratively with our stakeholders to create and comprehend sustainable visions for the future of communities. We work in 6 sectors, in economy, health, education, environment, and infrastructure, and we hope that our new expand business in North Maluku will accelerate community development, which includes the establishment of small and medium enterprise. Thank you.
Thank you, Bu Caroline. Yes, all of the presentations will be available at the website of Pavilion Indonesia, accessible to all. Yes. Now I would like to invite Bapak Boyke from Star Energy, geothermal. Please, 10 minutes for you, sir. Thank you.
So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So, it is a nice Sunday morning. So, it's usually people relaxing at home, but we are here. So, my name is Boyke Bratakusuma of Star Energy Geothermal Indonesia. So, Star Energy and I are very pleased and honored to be here to discuss on how we are shaping sustainable energy for future energy, especially from Star Energy perspective. So geothermal energy harness the Earth internal heat to generate clean power, and the world potential of geothermal is enormous. With total more than 300 gigawatt, and in fact only 15 gigawatt or 5% only that is utilized. So 95% basically waiting to be harnessed. So we are lucky, Indonesia position within the ring of fires basically grant us abundance of geothermal resource, and there are numerous geothermal hotspots across the country from the western part of the country to the eastern of the country, making Indonesia is basically one of the richest region globally in terms of geothermal potential. So the total Indonesia geothermal energy potential is about 23 to 24 gigawatt, with only about 10% to 2,400 megawatt. About 10% is basically utilized, and Star Energy contributing about 35 to 40% of it. Yeah. So we are generating 886 megawatt. So we are the largest and the leading geothermal energy producer in Indonesia. So we have 3 operating fields. The first one is Salax. We are operating 381 megawatt, and Derajat for 271 megawatt, and Wayang Windu for 231 megawatt. And we have also 2 exploration area, which is in Hamiding and Skincho, so North Maluku and Sulawesi. And we have also long history of excellent operational performance, and we have also a highly experienced technical team from exploration, development, and of course from operation. And also we never stop. We committing to growth, to contribute to Indonesia geothermal development goals. As geothermal basically is one of the pillars in achieving the mixed renewable energy target based on our or Indonesia general national plan, which is 23% in 2025 and 31% in 2050, as mentioned by Pak Cahyo. So the next slide. So we have been providing clean electricity for millions of homes, or about 7.2 million megawatt hour per year, or about 2 million homes. And as mentioned earlier, we are also committed to grow to achieve our target 1,200 megawatt by 2028. So these 3 picture on the top, it shows our operating power plant, Salak in West Java. So all 3 assets operating asset basically in West Java. So Salak contributing 3.2 million megawatt hour per year, and Derajat contributing 2.1 million megawatt hours per year, and Wayang Windu also in West Java in Pangalangan contributing 1.9 million megawatt hour per year. So the bottom picture is basically our exploration area in Hamiding, North Maluku, and South Kincho in West Lampung, with total potential up to 1,000 megawatt. So geothermal is abundant, clean, and renewable energy, sustainable, and of course, environmental friendly energy sources. The benefit of geothermal, at least there are three areas. One is a closed system, where the majority of the fluid produced basically injected back into the earth or into the reservoir. So if you look at the diagram on the left-hand side, basically shows how geothermal energy is produced. So the geothermal fluid, which is produced from the wells, if you look at the well wells, the production wells, and then it is flowed to aspirator to separate basically the steam and the brine. And the steam basically goes to scrubber to be clean, and whereas the liquid is reinjected back into the earth or into the reservoir. And then the steams basically turn the turbine, and the turbine basically rotate the generator to produce electricity, and then the steam is condensed into the cooling tower, to be a condensate of water, and basically re-injected into the earth or into the reservoir. So it is a closed system. So the second benefit is low CO2 emission to compare with fossil fuel, or less than 95% that of coal emission. And the third benefit is, of course, small footprint, which is only 4 hectares per megawatt, to compare, suppose, with coal or solar, which is 90% less land required. And the other benefit are geothermal can produce 24 hours, 7 days a week. So it is a reliable energy producer, and definitely it can be served as a base load. So the other also benefit of geothermal is low pollution and environmentally friendly, and definitely it can be used to reduce our dependency on fossil fuel. So geothermal business require high initial investment and risk, as involves exploration and drilling. So to make geothermal energy more competitive compared to fossil and other resources of energy, Star Energy looking at technology to reduce costs. So we realized that drilling costs is one of the key components of geothermal energy costs, so which is around 60 to 70% of the development costs. Whereas the rest basically goes to the development of the power plant and the steam field construction. So there are two key factors of in investments. One is internal, and of course the other one is external. So Star Energy focus on the key internal factors of investment to compare with external factors such as tariff, tax, and financing rate, which is maybe more or less controllable. So we are focused on 3 things: internal factors, well cost, success ratio of drilling, and production decline of a well. Two minutes to go? Wow, okay. So this is just to show how we control our costs. One is the well cost. We control our drilling days. So the longer well is drilled, the more expensive the well is. So we are trying to complete the well as soon as possible, as fast as possible. So we focus on 3 factors. Drilling days, in this case, rate of filtration when we drill, well bore stability, and long cementing time. So how we solve that 3 issues, we improve our bit designs, re-engineers our drilling fluid and the flow, of course, our new formulation on our cement. So as a result, we'll be able to reduce our drilling days from 60 to 70 to become only 20 days. So basically, it reduce the cost of drilling very much. So the second key internal factor is reducing or improving our drilling success ratio. So finding a good subsurface target in drilling wells that lead the high production is always a challenge. So to improve probability of success of having a good production wells is really important, because if we can reduce the number of wells, basically we be able to reduce the development cost of geothermal. So to improve that, we basically using state-of-the-art of modeling technique to develop permeability map for us to identify our sweet spot area for our subsurface target. So as a result, we can improve and optimize our well costs, and of course our production, and reduce our well costs. And the third slide, the next slide is basically how we improve our production decline rate. So, so basically, we are develop a cost-effective and efficient surveillance and intervention program, and use best industrial practice of modeling tools, as well as applying adaptive and productive injection strategy. And as a result, we'll be able to prolong our well life and maintain our production with no generation loss. So all technological breakthrough and innovation we initiated, it helped reducing our costs or cost of electricity produced from geothermal power, which is further, of course, it would help geothermal to be more competitive to compare with fossil or other renewable energy. So this is the last 2 of my slides. So we are not focusing only to our technical aspect of making geothermal competitive to other source of energy. We also emphasize on the environment aspect of our operation, proven by receiving multiple prestigious recognition and award from the government of Indonesia. 2 of them, we received proper gold award. This is the highest award on company performance rating in environmental management from the Ministry of Environment and Forestry, and also Subrato Award from the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources in Safety and Environmental Protection. So the last slide, this is our final word. So as mentioned earlier, geothermal definitely can help reduce greenhouse gas emission and mitigate climate change while supporting government of Indonesia to meet net zero emission by 2060. So it is clear that geothermal energy contribute toward environmental sustainability, as it has low greenhouse emission, as I mentioned earlier, minimum carbon footprint, and it can be used as baseload power. It has low pollution effect, environmental friendly, and definitely it is a favorable energy to replace fossil fuel. So however, there are some challenges requiring support from all stakeholders, such as service company, university, and of course the government, as geothermal has high initial investment costs, high risk, especially drilling risk, and some of geothermal prospects are within the conservation area. So supportive regulation and simplicity in permit need to be relooked at to promote geothermal development. Last but not least is low awareness of environmental benefit of geothermal energy. So extensive introduction of geothermal energy is crucial to basically to boost understanding of geothermal. So thank you.
Thank you, Pak Boyke. Next, I would like to call and to invite Ibu Iman of ACWA. 10 minutes, you know? Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm very glad to be here. And thank you for the Indonesian Pavilion for the invite. I will be speaking very shortly about aquapower. And then moving to describing more projects that we have done on ground. So for those who don't know aquapower, aquapower is a Saudi-funded company by 4 Saudi families back in 2004 that became now a very international company working on projects for water desalination. Aquapower is actually the biggest water desalinator in the world, but that's for a very specific reason. It's because they started in the Middle East, and at the time, this is where water was scarce. The second business line was renewables. So Aquapower is also an independent power producer. As you can see here, we have around 45 to 46 gigawatts of installed capacity. That represents maybe 4 times the grid capacity of Belgium or Morocco, because I'm Moroccan. And so we do have around $75 billion of investments in our portfolio. So Aquapower was in the past a startup and grew up very quickly into being a leader in KSA and in the world for the energy transition. Because green hydrogen is one of, well, the future fuels, and the price of hydrogen, green hydrogen, comes primarily from the price of power. And we have actually broken the records for solar and wind, I think 5 or 6 times. You can check in Guinness records, where we actually broke the Guinness record 4 times in different regions in the world. So Aquapower decided to start working on green hydrogen as well. We started our first project, so just to move to the next slide. So here you have some numbers about our assets in wind and solar. We exist now in 13 countries around the world, outside of Europe and the US, Americas in general, that Aquapower strategically decided not to go to because of merchant markets. Aquapower usually just does contracted power purchase agreements. And now in green hydrogen, we also do a committed offtake. So 2 projects already closed. One is NEOM Green Hydrogen Project that will be a bit detailing afterwards. And the second one was closed earlier this month and now is under construction in Uzbekistan. The third project coming up is actually in Indonesia, and we just signed the JDA for the project with PLN and Pupuk Indonesia here in COP in the first week. So maybe I'll just explain a bit about what we did for NEOM Green Hydrogen Project, as I was the project lead of that. And we can move maybe to talk a bit more about Indonesia, what we do there. So the NEOM Green Hydrogen Project is the first and the only, for now, gigawatt scale green hydrogen project in the world. It's in NEOM City in KSA. NEOM is actually a region and not really a city. It's of the size of Belgium as a country, but it's a region in Saudi Arabia. As you see here, we have developed a wind farm of about 1.8 gigawatts and a solar farm of 3.6 gigawatts that will be powering a ammonia facility around this area here, which is actually a new city called Oxagon. So we have a few slides about, well, what exactly are we doing, who are the partners, etc. So I'll just present that quickly, and maybe I can discuss a bit more about the technical part. So this project was done actually by NEOM, because NEOM is actually a company handling the NEOM area. Air Products, which is an American company for chemicals. It's actually the leader in chemicals worldwide. They are our partner, but also our off-taker on the project. And Aquapower as the leader in renewables at the time, and now started being working on green hydrogen as well. So the project company was established back in 2021. The project is now under construction, advanced construction, since mid last year, and will be operational by 2026, inshallah. So this is just a slide for the features of NEOM, because when people hear Saudi Arabia, they think that it's very hot and it's just the desert, which is the case in most of the country. But actually, NEOM is a much cooler place with very rich corals. It's around the Red Sea and Aqaba Gulf, so very close to well, Palestine, Egypt, etc. So this is where the project took place. But actually, the project is an industrial project in NEOM, but they will also have all across NEOM a lot of touristic projects as well. So I invite you to go and visit because I went there. It's very nice. And our project will be actually in Oxagon, which is a small city that will look like this. You can see it there as well. It's a city that will be half on land and half on sea. And our production facility, so the hydrogen production facility, which is going to be converted into ammonia and stored and then shipped to the US and Europe, will actually be in Oxagon. Okay. Maybe to some, yeah. So this is the production process flow, so that you can understand what the project is about for people who are not familiar with green hydrogen production. So green hydrogen is actually produced through electrolyzers that take water, power, and split the hydrogen and oxygen atoms into molecules, H2 and O2. We do that with power, so the power has to be green, and that's why in this project we're using a mix between solar and wind. We're actually pretty much off grid, so this project is not using any well, it's using minimal grid power to just keep the ammonia loop running when we don't have enough power. But the hydrogen is 100% produced by our internal grid, so wind, solar, and some battery storage. Sorry, I might be shouting. And so the electrolyzers actually produce the hydrogen, and we have what we call an air separation unit that separates the oxygen and the nitrogen in the air, takes the nitrogen into the ammonia loop, and then hydrogen and nitrogen are react to give NH3, which is green ammonia. Green ammonia is actually a way to store hydrogen, because hydrogen is a very volatile molecule. It's very hard to ship long distances, so that's why we're storing the hydrogen in green ammonia, shipping it to the US and Europe for several uses, but mostly for transportation in this case. Ammonia will be cracked back into hydrogen to be used in fueling stations. Ammonia is actually also a primary molecule for fertilizers. So that's why in Indonesia, we actually partnered with Pupuk Indonesia, who is a fertilizers company. I'm just going to talk about that a bit later. So the project doesn't actually do, yeah, okay. The dissociation, that part is actually handled by our off-taker, which is Air Products. Just a few figures: 600 tons per day of hydrogen produced, which is the equivalent of 1.2 million tons per annum of ammonia. That's a pretty massive project. However, if you see, well, this is what the project will look like in Oxagon. But when you see actually, so this is the construction started already. But when you see actually the impact, it's huge, but it still gives enough space to have hundreds of NEOMs. and the future. I think that the world would need hundreds of NEOMs for us to decarbonize. So this is a $8.6 billion project, which is huge in one go, but it's still not huge enough to cover all the efforts that we need to do. So that's why Aquapar is not working on duplicating the experience a bit everywhere. And this is where the Indonesia Green Hydrogen Project came. Well, you can see here when we signed the first agreement with Pupuk Indonesia, which is the fertilizers company of Indonesia, and PLN, which is the utility company. This project is actually going to be using Pupuk's existing facilities that produce gray ammonia already, try to convert part of it into green ammonia by using new hydrogen from electrolyzers, and we will be producing solar and wind in Java Island. So this is a very, let's say, big project for us. We have been in Indonesia for a while now, for 6 or 7 years, doing renewables, but now green hydrogen. So yeah, I see that the moderator wants me to stop talking. So thank you so much for listening to me. I'm open to any questions or maybe discussions after the panel, so we can discuss a bit more about green hydrogen. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Iman of Aqua Power. Now the time for dialogue, discussions. I would like to invite from the audience if there are any questions, comments, or invitation for more projects? Not yet? Well, maybe I will take the opportunity, yeah? I have 2 questions. How to involve, how to communicate, what do you communicate with the public on this renewables energy? Yeah? And number 2, how long will it take for you to deploy this renewable energy throughout Indonesia and perhaps in, I don't know, in Saudi, in many regions? How long will it take? Because can we wait for that long for this transition, for renewable energy is ready to replace the fossil fuels? That will be the 2 questions. So I would like to, all the speakers would like to address one of these 2 or maybe both.
Okay.
Please,
So,
Iman, we'll start.
Yeah. So just to address the first question about the timelines, I think the speed at which I wish a developer can go is depends on the country they're in. So to give the example of NEOM, that project took 3 years door to door to close.
Whoa.
For a project of this size, that is very fast. I think the key enablers are the fact that we had one-stop shop, which is NEOM company. They did everything on ground, permitting, authorizations, and everything. I think this is what takes most of the time. Convince the local authorities of the project, of that transition, and even if, well, let's say it, green hydrogen and green ammonia and green fuels in general come with a premium. It's not the case for renewables though, but for green fuels it is still the case. Countries need to be aware that they need to invest money for this transition to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, to give the example of NEOM will take 3 years and a half to construct. This started 2 years ago, 1 year and a half ago. It will finish in 2026. For this project that we have in Indonesia, we expect 2 years, which is fairly fast because developing maybe a hydro project will take 5 to 6 years.
Okay.
Developing renewables takes solar and wind can take 1 year and a half if it's done fast. So I think just to give you an idea about the timelines.
Thank you. Pak Boyke, would you like to address those questions?
Yeah, maybe just to add, yeah. So as you know, geothermal development is always a challenge because it involves high capital costs and it took longer as well, usually. So most of the times, I guess, in the past, it's more than 10 years. But Star Energy looking at the fast track, so we are trying to make everything fast. So we aim to 5 to 6 years to basically complete. And definitely, we need to engage our local peoples and telling them that geothermal basically is a good energy for futures, and because it's environmental friendly, and the footprint to compare with other energy is definitely less, much less. So it's around about 4 hectares for per megawatt. So it's in terms of if we compare to other energy or fossil energy, it's definitely much less. And then green energy, as I mentioned earlier.
Okay. Bu Caroline, would you like to address those questions? Biomass, are you sure that we can fulfill the need of the biomass throughout Indonesia and ASEAN region and perhaps in Asia or maybe in, I don't know, in Middle East? Are they interested in the biofuel in
Yeah.
Africa?
Yeah, I think we aim for the next 5 to 10 years to expanding our biomass productions. It's been a while that we improve and adapt our responsible practices. Especially, we continuously improve our technology and efficiency consistently to achieve the volunetzing 2030. We first started in a community forest, and then we expand to our plantations, and then we go for the chain custody, and it takes, I think, more than 5 years to build from the community to the plantation, and we certified all our raw materials, and we make sure the traceability, and then we make sure that the end product is representing the sustainable business strategy, and encourage other business sectors to use and replace coal in this renewable energy in terms of wood pellets. So I think, yeah, it will take, I think, 5 to 10 years extra. It's been a milestone, a very long journey for us, and we keep to maintain and expand our sustainable business strategy framework. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Pak Cahyo,
Yeah.
how do you see Indonesia can keep up with the time?
Yeah.
2060, 2050?
Yeah.
Because everyone talks about this net zero something by 2050, by 2060, by something. Can we catch up
Yeah.
with the need?
Yeah, sure, sure. Actually, we are based on our government's perspective. Yeah, we have to maybe the spirits, the approach, because we have to define with the commodity from the renewable energy. Because if you talk about the green hydrogens, the kind of geothermals, biomass, it's different. So the government task is to prepare the regulations to support the investments, to support the development of the renewable energy. For instance, if we talk about the green hydrogens right now, currently we have the strategic document for the national strategic government from that has been prepared for our Minister of Energy, and this included like what is a standard of national Indonesia SNE, the procedures, and also how to put it into the project, like the correlation between the regulation from the electricity, for instance, and also if we come up into the geothermal, for instance, we know that we have RUPTL from the PL, and also that we have to make it in the strategy to achieve by 2030. And for the biomass perspective, for instance, last week we have issued the government, ministerial regulation number 12, 2023 about the coal-fired biomass. Yeah, actually, yeah, it just depends on the commodity that we will encourage, and we will try to catch up in terms of the renewable energy boosting by 2030 to achieve the NDC target, and also we have roadmap to achieve the net zero emission target.
Okay.
Okay, that's from the government side.
Okay, optimism.
If I
Must.
may add, if I
We
may
must
add
be
something,
optimist. Yes.
I think the only thing is not just timelines; it's also the size. What I've seen in other countries is that well, they have been bold to implement gigawatt scale projects in one go. especially KSA. KSA is
Yeah.
the lead in this. So I think it's also a commitment to like have bold moves and have bigger projects in gigawatt scales instead of having hundreds of megawatts. That also helps a lot.
Yeah, we're talking about big numbers. Yeah, huge for the global change. Yeah, I see some hands raising. Faisal, would you like to have
Yep.
some questions?
Thank you. Faisal Parish, Global Environment Center, Malaysia. One question on geothermal. Can you just tell us a little bit more on the economics and the scale required for geothermal and how cost effectiveness at the moment compared to the non-renewable sources, and what are the challenges to implementing it? And then on biomass, we do have a challenge in Southeast Asia of the burning of biomass at the local level by farmers, by others. What progress is being made on downscaling biomass power production to the smaller scale that could maybe operate at the village level or local level, where there is not a big cost for transporting to a central facility and then generating power from that? Thank you.
Thank you, Faisal. Pak Boyke, please.
Okay.
And
That's a good question. Thank you very much for the question. So I think in general, I think in the past, people when talking about geothermal development, so 6 million per megawatt. But I think nowadays industry try to focus on about 4 million per megawatts. So definitely high cost upfront and high risk as well because it's involving exploration and drilling a well. So, exploration is always a lot of uncertainty. So that's probably the challenge of developing of geothermal.
yes, thank you. Ibu Caroline? Yeah, would you like to address the issue? Because you're producing biomass for the power plant, but there is a need for biomass energy for village or maybe a household. Do you see that in the future of the business plan? Or only for power plant? Are you specialist for power plant, or do you consider biomass for also the house?
We were looking for it, but currently we're focusing on the specific our end users power plant right now. But we're looking for it to support all the village and etc. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of areas not developed yet, but the future is there. And we talk about big numbers. Yeah, I am afraid that the time is up, 10:20, and so I would like to wrap up with this view that renewable energy, welcome, and we talk about big numbers because renewable energy we have been waiting for this renewable energy available to us to replace fossil fuels, because there is a big discussion about phase down, phase out of fossil fuels. The answer is in the renewable energy. When will we reach the scale that renewable energy can substitute the fossil fuels as well? Yeah, the opportunity is there. The challenge is huge numbers, but I think that we are optimistic that we can catch up with time, and not to forget that employment opportunities there. So for the young generations, please look at these opportunities, and this business needs new talents and need new team to reach the capacity for renewable energy. Not to forget that we need more blood in this renewable energy. With that, I would like to close this session with a big thanks and applause to all of our speakers and to all of our audience here in Pavilion Indonesia and in YouTube. Thank you so much.